Okay, we're in the book on page 223. Page 223. Who knows what C is? Raise your hand when you know C. Raise your hand when you know C. Ooh, lots of people know C. Lots of people know C. Amber. Hayden. Caitlin. Emily. Are y'all sure? Oh, good. 50. How'd you get 50 so quickly? 30. 3, 4, 5 rule. Guys, on these, listen to what I want you to do to show work. On these, if you come to one like this, you go 3, 4, 5 rule. Then I know you know what you're doing. Okay? Look at number 5. Okay, remember I told you there were 3 things you needed to make sure to do so you could get these right. The first thing is to label correctly. If you don't label correctly, you're not going to get it right. So, wait a minute, stop. We have to write something down before we get the answer. So, we're going to draw across here. And you know what? I said yesterday we were going to do it, but we need to do it every time. Let's just do it every time. Get in the habit. We're going to draw our arrow from the right angle. So, what side is that? Guys, there's nobody should be using a calculator for anything. We haven't done anything. Put the calculator down for a minute. That's C. You have to label correctly. First thing, label ABC. So what do y'all want 40 to be? And this side, uh-oh. Is this different from what we've done? We've been finding the hypotenuse. Now we're going to find one of the sides. Okay. And remember, guys, they're not going to do an 8th grader like this. Use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of one of the sides. They're not going to do that. They're going to talk to you about a ladder. They're going to give you a map, and there will be a right triangle sitting in the middle of it, and you have to go, oh, right triangle. I need the length of a side. I can use Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, so they're not going to baby you, so we've got to get used to, oh, I see a right triangle in there. So we've got plenty of room under here. So we're going to write a squared plus b squared c squared. The second thing you need to make sure you do is follow the formula correctly. So you got to label correctly, follow the formula correctly. Okay? So what's a? Don't know. Don't know. A squared. You're right. Plus 40 squared. Good. Equals? Nope. 41. We know C this time. So we have to substitute correctly. Now, third line. A squared plus, what's 40 times 40? 1600. Good job. What's 41 squared? 1681. Good. Now, we got a little problem. Can you add a squared to 1600? No. So, if you've learned to do order of operations correctly, if you've learned to solve equations correctly, then this is simple. We are trying to get down to A, right? Because what do we want? The length of the missing side. So we're going to subtract 1600. Get A squared equals, oh, we didn't need a calculator for that. Okay, is 81 perfect square? Yes. Is 81 perfect? Yes, it's perfect. But stop right here. I need you to stop right here every time. This is the third thing. Guys, sometimes they're going to try to trick you, and they're going to ask for the area of that side of that square. So you always stop right there, and you go, am I trying to get the area of that square, or am I trying to get the side length? Oh, I'm trying to get the missing side length. So I need to keep going. And yes, 81's perfect because what'd you get? 9. Very good. Now, actually, there's 4 things. when you get done, this just comes with checking. When I get done, I always look and go, okay, I'm trying to find the missing side. So that's 9. Does that make sense? For that to be 41 and 40 and that to be 9. Yes. Guys, you know what I'll have people get right there? 81. No, 81. Because they stop right there and they say that side length is 81. Could it possibly be 81? No. If 41 is the longest side, 41 is the longest side. And you know what I'll say when I go to help them correct it? I say, could that side be 81? Well, that's what I got. Well, if that's the longest side, could that be 81? Well, that's what the calculator gave me. That's what I got. Guys, you got to think. If 41 is the longest side, it's the longest side. It's going to be the biggest number. So you got to check. Okay, turn to 225. We're skipping 224 for right now. We're going to come back to it Monday. Okay, everybody look at number 5. Find the length of the missing side of each triangle. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So we're going to draw our arrow from the right angle. What's that side? C. Thank you. What do y'all want 8 to be? A or B? A. And it doesn't matter, does it? We could put B there if we wanted. But y'all said A first, so let's do A. So we're going to come over. We've got plenty of room. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What's the second line going to look like? Everybody together.
A squared
plus B squared equals 14 squared. I think I heard nearly everybody. Thank you so much. Okay, now the third line. C4 plus B squared equals 196? Yes, thank you. Now, we're just solving equations here, people. Can we add those two numbers? No. So we're going to do what? Minus 64. Good. So B squared equals 132. Now, let's stop, remember? Let's stop it and make sure we're finding the missing side. Yes, we're not trying to find the area of the square. We're trying to find the side. So I'm going to take the square root. So B is about, good. And it said round to the nearest tenth. So did everybody get that? 11.5. Make sure that you can round. Everybody can round. Okay, let's stop just a minute. Does every step look like mine? Are you positive? Every step. Every one. Okay. All right. Now look at number 8. We're going to come do 8 at the bottom of the page because we're not going to do 11. We're going to do 8 at the bottom of the page. So everybody with me? We got to draw a picture. Guys, how many have seen a ladder up against a house? Okay. If you're going to use that ladder, is it going to be straight up? I hope not. I hope not. Because unless it's attached to the ground, I'm not going to be climbing on it. Okay, so the ladder's going to be leaning. And this question always reminds me of when my sister's 10 years younger. And my brothers used to aggravate her all the time. And they were mean to her, really. They put the ladder on the house. Mom and Dad were both gone. And they put the ladder up against the house and talked her into climbing up on the top of the house. And then they got down and took the ladder and she's up there crying and they made her jump off the house and she sprained her ankle. And you know what? She never told on them. Well, years later she told on them. And yeah, I thought I'd have told on them. Okay. So that always reminds me, but guys, the ladder's always going to be leaning. Always leaning. So when we go draw the picture, the house is like this. The ladder's going to be leaning. There's the ladder. So, and how high is the ladder?
24 feet.
I mean, the ladder's 24 feet. That doesn't say how high it is. I said that wrong. So the ladder's 24 feet. For safety reasons, it's got to be at least 8 feet from the base of the house, of the side of the house. What's base mean? The bottom. So that's 8. Does anybody see any right angles in there?
Yes.
I do, right here. Right there. So we're going to draw over. C is going to be 24. What do y'all want 8 to be?
8.
Okay, and so B is going to be the height. And let's go back and read the question. To the nearest tenth of a foot, how high can the ladder safely reach? So this is how high the ladder can safely reach. So we're going to go A squared plus B squared is C squared. Everybody on the second line. Everybody. Go. 8 squared plus B squared equals 24 squared. Awesome. Now the third line. 64 plus B squared equals. Good. Can we add 64 and B squared? No, we're going to subtract 64. So B squared equals. Good. Now, remember, we don't need the area. We need the side length. So we have to get the square root. So B is about what?
22.67. 6.
It's 6. Good job. Good job. We've been working on rounding to the nearest tenth all year, haven't we? It's come up a bunch. So we're going to get 22.6 what on 8? Good. Okay, now look at number 4 real quick. Let's go back to number 4. Label. Uh-oh, what side are we finding again? C, the longest side. What's it called? What's it called? C. What's it called? Hypotenuse. Very good, Hayden. Hey, what are we doing? What have we learned this week? What is this called? I want to hear. I just wanted to hear you say it. Pythagorean Theorem. It actually is says how it's spelled. Pythagorean Theorem. When are you going to use this theorem? Welding, building, carpentry. Okay, but you on a paper, what are you going to see and you're going to go, oh, I got to use Pythagorean Theorem? A right triangle, one right triangle. And you need the length of a side, or you might need the area off of one of those sides. That is possible too. Okay, so on this problem right here, everybody, second line. Oh, we got a label. Wait, we got a label. What's 4? A, and what's B? 8. Okay, everybody, second row. 4 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. Third line. Plus 64 equals C squared. Can we add those two numbers? So we're going to add them. 80 is C squared. And I ran out of room. Do I need the side length? Yes. So I'm going to take the square root. Good. Yeah, 8.9. Because 81 is a perfect square, right? 9 times 9. So we knew it had to be close to 9. Are there any questions? Do we know how to follow the formula? And what's the first thing you have to do when you see a right triangle? Label correctly. Not just label correctly. Okay? And then follow the formula. Check your work. Check your work. Make sure you're doing it correctly. Check your math. Okay, close your book, please. You people that have the papers, y'all pass them down the row. That 0.6 I gave to. Tori, I did give you two one, didn't I? Okay, good. Okay, 8.6, look at the example. Just a minute. Look at the example. Find the right angle. What am I going to do? Draw an arrow. So what side is that? C. Or is there any way we cannot label correctly on this? I don't see a way. If you find the right angle in your triangle and you draw an arrow from it, I don't understand how you can miss that. I really don't. So look, they already labeled that B, so you have to put A there. Sometimes they do that. They label themselves. So they've worked it all the way down to the fourth step. So what are we going to do at that point?
You're going to do minus 220.
Good, because we can't add those two numbers. So we're going to subtract. So B squared equals?
175.
Good. And we're going to take the square root because they want the length of the missing side. Well, the directions say find A or B using the Pythagorean Theorem.
13.2.
Good. Awesome. Okay. I wrote that in red, and it's very hard to see. I realize now. Over there. There's a glare on the board. The order you're going to do this, you're going to finish your D73-74. We all know how to staple. Holes on the left, notebook paper at the back. Then you're going to work on this 8.6. If you finish both of them, you're turning them in, all this in, and then 8.4, 8.5. If you get finished with the other two. Remember, on D74, how many problems are you doing on D74? The ones that we checked, what? Those 5 we checked. You don't have to do the whole page. D73 you do, but D74 you do not. Are there any questions before you start? Positive? Huh? I will. That's okay. Thank you, Don. Okay, Jay, just a minute. Listen, I need you to move or get a blinder, and your device is okay. All right.